I have a really interesting thing to talk about, and has to do with Bigfoot footage and filming Bigfoot footage and people who have already filmed what is claimed to be Bigfoot footage. There's one gentleman in particular who I'm not going to name, but you'll know who it is once I start talking about it. Has some super clear images, portraits you might say, of Sasquatch. So these images of Bigfoot, these video clips, these portraits, most of the time seem to be shot with a camcorder when the battery is nearly dead and you're only able to get like a really short clip of Sasquatch. Now, the camcorder I'm filming on right now, it's an old Canon, like high definition Vixia camcorder. The battery that I have on it right now lasts for 300 minutes. Like in good weather. When it's colder out, it doesn't quite last that long. But 300 minutes usually. The memory card in there lasts for over 10 hours of recording in high definition. So if I filmed Bigfoot and my battery was almost dead, say I got a 2-minute shot of Sasquatch, then that would mean that there's 298 minutes, give or take, 298 minutes of footage that I had recorded to drain the battery. And in these instances where, like, this particular individual has filmed Sasquatch, where is that 298 minutes of footage building up to that encounter? You must have been filming something. I don't care if it's B-roll or footage of like leaves falling off the trees. I don't care what it is. I want to see it. I want to see all the footage from that day. All the footage that was shot on that battery charge. Because there's got to be something. You know? There's got to be some sort of before, and there's got to be some sort of after. Not the camera conveniently just dying right when you see the Sasquatch. Like, what are the odds of that? You know? So, like right away when that sort of thing happens, you know it's not real. Because it's just way too convenient. I want to see everything that was shot. You know? So, that happens more often than not. I mean, the Patterson footage, you do see what was happening before. They have, like, footage on the film reels of them riding their horses into the area. Like, you actually see stuff. Now, when you're shooting on film, it's not the same, obviously, as shooting on digital. Like, you're not just leaving the camera rolling and shooting everything. You have to be very, very cautious of what you're shooting because film is expensive. Even back in the day, in the 60s, it was very expensive. Even 16mm was more or less expensive. And we know Roger Patterson was on like a very tight budget. He didn't have a lot of money. So, in that case, it's understandable like why there wasn't a lot of footage building up to that. There was footage, don't get me wrong, but you know, it's different when you're shooting on film. Even like the Freeman footage, you do see quite a bit of stuff that happened before he actually sees the Sasquatch. He's filming, you know, the environment around him. He's filming the ground, showing you the tracks that are in the mud. You see something. So it just seems weird to me why, you know, somebody who claims to be a filmmaker, like a professional filmmaker, who, I might add, was actually doing corporate video before, like, Bigfoot. I had found a kind of like a derelict YouTube page showing video advertisements for businesses, like from back in like probably like 2010, 11, 12, like back in that era. I can't remember exactly what year they were from for sure, but I bet you those videos are still up on the internet, but they're corporate like videos for businesses, for advertising. So this person is a filmmaker. They know video production. Yet they go out into the woods with the goal of filming Bigfoot with dead batteries. I mean, I always have multiple batteries. I have methods of charging them in the field. I usually use battery banks, and then I can charge up my camera batteries like many, many times. So it is just very convenient. If you're going out into the woods to film Bigfoot, just make sure you got batteries. Make sure you have a way of charging them. You can get a solar-powered battery bank on Amazon for like $30 that you can charge out in the sun, and then you'll be able to charge your camera battery off that like many, many times. Worst case scenario, if you don't have actual extra camera batteries. But anyways, I mean, if you do film Bigfoot, I want to see everything. Upload the whole day's worth of footage, I don't care if it's 6 hours, 7 hours long. I want to see the whole trip even. Everything that you shot. There must be something. There must be some footage. We only get a brief window in time as to what happened during the encounter. The clip starts on the Bigfoot and it finishes on the Bigfoot. You don't see the individual approaching the Bigfoot, you don't see the Bigfoot approaching the individual, and you don't see the person leaving the Bigfoot, and you don't see the Bigfoot leaving the individual. That is a problem. And all we see is a head. We see a head, and the couple cases where we do see body, it's very dark, very grainy. The one clip, we see the back of the being, it crouches down. It could literally be anything. It could be anybody in a costume, and I guarantee you that it is. And the other clip is a Bigfoot creature running up a slope, which doesn't look like a Bigfoot at all. It looks like a person running up a slope. And you can try and argue that as much as you can, but it's funny too, like when you criticize people's footage and when you investigate it and then share your thoughts with the world online, the people who get very defensive or people who are fans of those people that you're criticizing, they will just say hey, you're jealous. Where's your Bigfoot footage? Well, I haven't faked Bigfoot footage yet, so you're not going to see it. It's not that easy to film Sasquatch, to get multiple clips like that. If you're a professional filmmaker, you will be prepared. If Patterson could do it with 16mm film, then we can do it with digital camcorders, with 128 gig SD cards and batteries that last 300 minutes, So, just be prepared. That's all I'm saying.